Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Cozy English Podcast. My name is Melody.
And I'm Avery. We are so happy you're joining us today.
Yes, welcome. The Cozy English Podcast is a place for you to relax and learn English with friendly conversations. We talk slowly and clearly so you can practice your listening skills.
That's right. So, Melody, how are you doing today?
I'm doing really well, thank you, Avery. I had a really nice, quiet weekend. I read a book and spent some time in my garden. It was very relaxing. How about you?
Oh, that sounds lovely. My weekend was good too. I tried a new recipe. I made homemade pizza for the first time.
Really? Homemade pizza. How was it?
It was delicious. Much better than I expected. Maybe I'll make it for you sometime.
I would love that. Well, it sounds like we both had a great start to the week.
Definitely. Now, before we start our main topic today, we just want to say don't forget to subscribe to the Cozy English Podcast.
Yes, and if you enjoy our show, please share this episode with your friends and family. It helps our podcast grow.
Okay, so what are we talking about today, Melody?
Today, we are going to talk about something very exciting. We are talking about dreams and goals.
Ooh, I like this topic. It's very positive and inspiring.
I agree, and it's a great topic for English learners because you often need to talk about your future plans in English for a job interview or just when making new friends.
That's a very good point. So let's start with a basic question. What is the difference between a dream and a goal? Do you think they are the same thing?
That's a great question. I think they are different. For me, a dream is something big, a big idea or wish you have for your life. It's more about the feeling and the big picture.
Right, like my dream is to live by the ocean. It's a beautiful idea, but it doesn't have a plan yet.
Exactly. It's the what and the why, but not the how. What about a goal? How would you describe a goal?
I think a goal is more concrete. It's a step you take to make your dream come true. It has a plan. So if your dream is to live by the ocean, a goal could be, my goal is to save $5,000 this year for a down payment on a house.
Oh, that makes perfect sense. The dream is the destination, and the goals are the steps on the map to get there.
Exactly. I love that way of explaining it. The dream is the destination, goals are the steps. So let's talk about how to express these ideas in English. Let's start with dreams.
Okay, so when we talk about our dreams, we often use phrases like, one day I would like to, or I hope to. For example, one day I would like to travel the world.
Yeah, that's a classic dream. Another common phrase is simply, my dream is to. For example, my dream is to start my own business. It's very direct.
It is. So, Avery, do you want to share one of your dreams with us?
Sure. A big dream of mine. Okay, one day I would like to learn how to build furniture, with wood, like a table or a chair.
Oh, that's a really cool dream. Why do you want to do that?
I think it would be so satisfying to create something useful with my own hands, to see a piece of wood become something beautiful and functional.
I completely understand that. It sounds very creative and rewarding. What's the first thing you would want to build?
Probably something small. Maybe a bookshelf, something simple to start. What about you, Melody? What's one of your dreams?
I hope to learn how to play the piano. I've always loved the sound of the piano, and I think it would be wonderful to be able to play my favorite songs.
That's a beautiful dream. It's never too late to learn a musical instrument.
I hope so. It feels like a big challenge, but it's a nice dream to have.
It is. So we've talked about dreams. Now, how do we turn those dreams into goals?
Right. Let's talk about the language for goals. When we talk about goals, we are usually more specific. We might use phrases like, my goal for this month is to, or I am planning to.
Or I'm working on, which shows you have already started.
Yes. So using my dream of playing the piano, I can create a goal. A good first goal might be, my goal for this month is to find a piano teacher.
That's a perfect goal. It's specific and achievable. It's a clear first step. For my dream of building furniture, a good goal would be, I'm planning to take a beginner's woodworking class this year.
Exactly. It makes the big dream feel much more possible, doesn't it? When you break it down into smaller goals.
It really does. I think this is very important for our listeners who are learning English. Your dream might be, I want to be fluent in English.
Right, that's a big, wonderful dream, but it can also feel very far away.
Exactly. So you can create smaller goals. For example, my goal for this week is to learn 10 new vocabulary words.
Yes, or I'm working on speaking English for 5 minutes every day. These goals are small, specific, and you can measure them. You know if you did it or not.
That's the key. A good goal is something you can check. Did I learn 10 words? Yes. Did I speak for 5 minutes? Yes. It gives you a feeling of success.
I agree completely. That feeling of success is very motivating. It makes you want to keep going. Do you have any small goals you are working on right now, Avery?
I do. My goal for this month is to finish a new book. I love reading, but sometimes I get busy and forget. So my goal is just one book this month.
That's a fantastic goal. It's realistic and something you enjoy. My current goal is to go for a walk every morning, even if it's just for 15 minutes.
That's a great habit to build. It's good for your body and your mind.
It is, but sometimes it's difficult to stay motivated. What do you do when you don't feel like working on your goal?
That is a really important question. Everyone feels that way sometimes. For me, I try to remember my why. Why is this goal important to me? For my reading goal, I remember that reading helps me relax and learn new things.
Remembering the why. I like that. So for my walking goal, I can remember that it helps me feel more energetic and positive during the day.
Right. Another thing I do is make the step even smaller. If I don't want to read a whole chapter, I tell myself, just read one page.
Oh, that's so smart. So on a day I don't want to walk for 15 minutes, I could just say, just walk for 5 minutes.
Exactly. And usually, once you start, you keep going. The hardest part is starting.
That is so true. These are great tips for anyone with a goal, including learning English. If you don't want to study for an hour, just study for 10 minutes.
Yes, 10 minutes is much better than 0 minutes. It's all about small, consistent steps.
So let's review some of the useful phrases we talked about. For dreams, we can say,
One day I would like to,
I hope to.
and my dream is to.
Perfect. And for goals, we can use phrases that are more specific and action-oriented.
Right, like my goal for this week is to,
I am planning to.
or I'm working on.
I think it's also important to share your goals with someone, a friend or a family member. It can help you stay accountable.
That's a great idea. When you tell someone your goal, it feels more real, and that person can encourage you.
Yes, they can ask you, hey, how is your goal coming along? It's a gentle reminder to keep going.
So, for our listeners, maybe you can find an English buddy, a friend who is also learning. You can share your goals with each other.
What a wonderful suggestion. You can practice speaking together and motivate each other. Your goal could be, we are planning to have a 10-minute English conversation every week.
That's a perfect, practical goal. Another important part of having dreams and goals is being kind to yourself.
Oh, yes. Can you explain what you mean by that?
I mean that sometimes you won't achieve your goal. You might have a busy week and you don't learn 10 new words.
Right. Life happens.
Exactly. And in those moments, it's important not to say, oh, I failed. I'm not good at this. Instead, you can say, that's okay. This week was busy. I will try again next week.
I love that. It's about progress, not perfection. Every small effort is a win. Even if you only learn one new word, that's one more word than you knew before.
Totally. Celebrate the small wins. It keeps you happy and motivated on your journey. Learning a language is a marathon, not a sprint.
A marathon, not a sprint. That's a great idiom. It means it's a long journey that requires patience, not a short race.
Yes, and it's true for so many dreams and goals in life.
That's such an important mindset to have. It brings up another big topic related to goals, challenges and obstacles. It's not always a straight path, is it? That's such an important mindset to have. It brings up another big topic related to goals, challenges and obstacles. It's not always a straight path, is it?
Not at all. It's full of twists and turns. A big obstacle for many people is the fear of failure. What if I try and I'm not successful? This fear can be paralyzing.
That's so true. And speaking of mindset, there's another powerful technique that can help us stay on track and push through those tough moments: visualization.
Not at all. That's a fantastic point. Life is full of unexpected turns. You can have a perfect plan, but then something happens. You get sick, you have a family emergency, or you just lose motivation. What do you do then?
That's a great question. Constructive feedback is specific and intended to help. For example, if a friend says, "Your pronunciation of three sounds a bit like tree. Have you tried practicing the TH sound?" That's helpful. But if someone just says, "Your English is bad," that's not helpful at all. It's just negative. That's so true. Fear of failure is a huge one. I think it helps to change your perspective on failure. Failure isn't the opposite of success, it's a part of success. It's a learning opportunity. So, to all our listeners, we want to encourage you. What is your dream for your English? And what is a small goal you can set for this week?
I love that. Failure is a learning opportunity. So if you try to have a conversation in English and you make a mistake, it's not a failure, it's practice. You learn something about a word or a grammar rule. Not at all. Life is full of unexpected turns. In English, we sometimes say life throws you a curveball. It means something unexpected happens that you have to deal with.
Exactly. You can't learn without making mistakes. Another common obstacle is feeling overwhelmed. The dream feels too big and you don't know where to start. That's a very common feeling, especially when you're learning something new. It's often called a plateau. You learn a lot at the beginning and then your progress seems to slow down. It can be very frustrating.
Maybe your goal is to listen to this podcast episode one more time, or to write down 3 new phrases you learned today. Yes, the analysis paralysis. You think so much about the huge goal that you do nothing. How do you deal with that?
Those are perfect goals. Remember, every small step counts, and we are here cheering for you. We touched on it earlier, but it's all about breaking it down. Make the steps so small that they feel easy. If your dream is to run a marathon, your first goal isn't to run 26 miles. It's to put on your running shoes and go for a 10-minute walk.
Believe in yourself and be patient with yourself. You can do it. That's a perfect analogy. And when you complete that 10-minute walk, it's a win. That brings us to another really important idea: celebrating your small victories. That's a perfect analogy. And when you complete that 10-minute walk, it's a win. That brings us to another really important idea: celebrating your small victories.
It really can. In those moments, I think it's helpful to look back and see how far you've come. Maybe you can't see the progress you made this week, but think about what you knew 3 months ago. The difference is probably huge. Well, Avery, this has been a really positive and encouraging conversation. I feel motivated to work on my own goals now.
That is a great way to stay positive. Sometimes we forget our starting point. It can be helpful to keep a journal. You could write down one new thing you learned each day. When you feel stuck, you can read it and see all the progress you've actually made.
Yes, this is so crucial. If you only wait to celebrate the huge final dream, the journey can feel very long and difficult. But if you celebrate each small goal you achieve, you give yourself positive reinforcement along the way. A journal is a fantastic idea. Another thing you can do is change your method. If you always study with flashcards, maybe try watching a TV show in English. Sometimes a new approach can help you break through the plateau.
Me too. It's always good to talk about these things. It helps to make your thoughts clearer. That's so true. Making it fun is important. Learning shouldn't feel like a chore. Find a way to enjoy the process. If you like music, learn the lyrics to an English song. If you like cooking, watch a cooking show in English. Exactly. For an English learner, maybe you had your first short conversation with a native speaker. That is a huge win. You should feel proud of that. Maybe you can treat yourself to something small, like a nice coffee or watching your favorite movie.
That's a great point. It's important to surround yourself with people who support your goals. We've mentioned an English buddy, but this idea of a support system is much bigger, isn't it? And that brings up another great point: the people you surround yourself with. Having a good support system is so important when you're working towards a big dream. And that brings up another great point. You don't have to do it alone. Having a support system is incredibly valuable. That's a great point, and it brings up something we touched on earlier, the importance of a support system. You don't have to go on this journey alone.
That's a very important point. Not all feedback is created equal. It's important to learn how to distinguish between constructive feedback that helps you grow and negative comments that are just meant to be hurtful.
It really does. It looks like we are getting close to the end of our time for today. That's a very important distinction to make, and it leads to another powerful tool for staying motivated, visualizing success. It's the idea of creating a mental picture of yourself achieving your goal.
That's a very important point. Not all feedback is created equal. It's important to learn how to distinguish between constructive feedback that helps you grow and negative comments that are just meant to be hurtful. Constructive feedback is specific and actionable. For example, a teacher might say, "Your pronunciation of this word is a little off. Try practicing it this way." That's helpful. But if someone just says, "Your English is bad," that's not helpful at all.
Absolutely. We mentioned an English buddy earlier, and that's a perfect example of a support system. These are the people who cheer you on, who understand your struggles, and who remind you of your progress when you can't see it yourself.
I love that idea. It rewires your brain to associate learning with positive feelings. But what about when you feel like you're not getting any wins? Sometimes you can be working hard but feel like you're not making any progress.
That's a fantastic way to put it, and it leads to another powerful tool people can use: visualization. It's the idea of creating a mental image of your success.
Wow, time flies when you're having a good conversation.
It certainly does. So let's quickly summarize what we talked about today.
Okay, we started by talking about the difference between dreams and goals. A dream is a big wish for the future.
And a goal is a specific, planned step to help you achieve that dream.
Then we shared some useful English phrases for talking about both. Phrases like, "I hope to" for dreams, and "my goal is to" for goals.
We also gave some tips for staying motivated, like remembering your why and making your steps very small.
And most importantly, be kind to yourself on your journey.
Yes, we encourage all of you to practice using these phrases. Think about one of your dreams and one small goal you can set for this week.
We would love to hear from you. Leave a comment and tell us about one of your goals. Or if you have any questions, please ask.
And please don't forget to subscribe to the Cozy English podcast so you don't miss our next episode.
And if you found this conversation helpful, please share it with anyone you know who is learning English.
Thanks for listening to the Cozy English podcast.
See you next time.